Korach, a Levite, gathers a bunch of other Israelites to challenge not just Moses, but Aaron too. How come you guys get to be the holy ones? How come you get all the privileges? Okay. Moses replies, you want to give it a try? Tomorrow, let's see who God chooses. Here's what the test's going to be. And you can almost see Moses like smirking. Everyone take some incense and bring it before God. We'll see what happens. Now, we who just read the story of Nadav and Avihu in Leviticus 10 and the bringing of incense by the wrong people at the wrong time, we know or should know already exactly where this story is heading. While he's talking to him, Moses has an extra point to make. He's like, Korach, dude, you're already special. You're a Levite. You already have been set apart. You already perform the duties of the tabernacle and minister to the community and serve them, right? You're already better than everybody else except Aaron, right? Like, you need more than this. You're not really, right? It's not Aaron you're challenging here. It's God who made the decision, right? You could do better, be better, right? Says Moses to Korach. One more set of instructions here again. Tomorrow, you and your company appear. You all take a fire pan, right? Everyone brings one. Korach, you bring one. Aaron's going to bring his. Everyone's going to bring their fire pan. We're going to put incense on it and fire in it, and we're gonna get all set up. And Korach gathers the whole community against them, against Aaron and Moses, at the entrance to the tent of meeting. And this annoys God, right? All the people are gathering around to watch. What are they, all on Korach's side? I'm going to destroy everybody. And as is often the case, Moses intervenes and is like, come on, it's just the one guy, right? Let's not kill everybody. Fine. So the people will back off. God's like, fine, tell them to move away from the tabernacle. And he says, okay, move away from the tabernacle. And they do. And now that the people are gone, like the climax of the story is one brief, predictable line. A fire went forth from the Lord and consumed the people offering the incense. It doesn't take very much effort to see what the priestly concern is here. The complaint here isn't about God's providence. It's not about Moses' prophetic leadership either. Right? This is cultic, it's ritual, it's sanctuary, it's priestly. So in a sense, this is a really terrific example of how a common tradition gets manifested in a particular specific way. P knows that Israel was rebellious in the wilderness. Everybody knows that. It's like a fixed part of the traditional story. But what does rebelliousness in the wilderness look like from a priestly perspective? It looks like a rebellion against the ritual orders instituted by God, because those ritual orders are like the entire idea of P. That's almost all there is. So that's the story P tells. Israel must have tried to challenge the priesthood. That's the logic of what a rebellion looks like for a priest. The material in chapter 17 is a continuation of this idea and is entirely a continuation of the priestly stuff. It's probably a mixture of what we learned in the last couple of weeks, P material and H material. Not a big deal. They're all picking up the same basic theme. I'm not going to run through chapter 17 in detail the way I have been verse by verse on the screen. But to tell you like what's happening in this chapter, so you'll see how it's playing up the same exact themes. In chapter 17, first you have Eleazar, Aaron's son, who like goes around to the corpses of the recently charred and picks up their fire pans and makes them into copper plating for the altar, so that there's a visible reminder that only Aaron's offspring should presume to offer incense before the Lord. Making very clear what the rebellion was about and what the issue is. And then, amazingly, the people are like, get upset at Aaron and Moses again. They're like, my God, people are dying everywhere. And God again is like, I'm going to kill them all, and starts a plague. But Moses intervenes And his intervention is, I'm going to have Aaron offer incense in their midst until the plague stops, thus giving us like an object lesson in who it is that can, in fact, offer incense. And the benefits that Aaron offering incense, and only Aaron, brings to the people so that they learn that lesson. And if that wasn't enough, one more test in chapter 17. It's almost as if the priestly text really cares about this issue. One more test. Every tribe is going to bring a staff and place it in the tabernacle, and God's going to choose one. And so they all bring a staff, and the next morning, lo and behold, Aaron's staff has sprouted with various kinds of blossoms. And this staff now, like the copper plating of the altar from earlier, will be a reminder to the Israelites. God chooses Aaron. That's what the story is all about. It's like a long discourse on the sanctity and legitimacy of the priesthood of Aaron and his sons. But this discourse on the priestly legitimacy of Aaron's family is couched in the narrative traditional framework of the wilderness complaint tradition. The E story that is interwoven with the Korach rebellion in number 16, as I said before, is really wildly different. Two guys, Datan and Aviram, rise up against Moses. Not Aaron, just Moses. So Moses sends for them. All right, you're upset. Come, let's talk it out. But they refuse. They lay out their grievance to him. You brought us to this crappy wilderness place, and you think you're so great, mister. Now, there's a bunch of vocabulary and like idioms in here that are difficult to parse. Should you gouge out those men's eyes? Pay no regard to their oblation. I haven't taken the ad. Well, that one makes sense to me. Whatever you want to make of the specifics of the complaint, right? The thrust is clear. The Datan and Aviram are like, we're not listening to you anymore. And Moses is like, I did nothing wrong, right? I haven't wronged anybody. He's essentially saying to God. And Moses then, so he's like, all right, they wouldn't come to me. That was all done via messenger, clearly. And so Moses heads off to confront them. Now you have to remember that these two, Datan and Aviram, are just like, they're two guys. They're two guys living among the rest of the Israelites. But something bad is about to go down. And Moses is like, everybody move away because I don't want anybody else to get hurt. This is just a two-man issue here. Now, the confrontation itself. They come out of their tents and Moses lays it all on the line. You guys don't think I'm a legitimate prophet, huh? You think I'm doing this for myself? And honestly, if they had heard Moses complaining at the beginning of the book, at the beginning of Numbers 11, where he's like, just kill me now, I can't do it, right? I think they might feel differently about it. But Moses says, here's how you know that none of this stuff that we're going through is about me, right? It's not of my doing, right? It's not of my devising. Here's how you know. A miracle is going to occur. The miracle, of course, is the earth is going to open up and swallow you. But everybody around is going to be watching, right? And that's who Moses is talking to. Listen, for anybody out there who's doubting me, if something crazy happens right now, then you got to trust me. God sent me. And if nothing happens, then I guess not. And I mean, sure enough, instantaneously that miracle occurs. And the earth swallows it up, and I have a mistake in here because that's not supposed to say all Korach's people. But the earth opens up and swallows up Datan and Aviram and all of their families. Sorry, the families go with them, and the people are terrified. But that's exactly the point, right? Like the people are supposed to be witnessing this, and again. You can see how consistent E is in its understanding of the wilderness complaints. From Numbers 11, where Moses is like, me leading all these people by myself is going to be trouble, to Numbers 12, where Aaron and Miriam are like, how about we have some of his authority? To here in Numbers 16, where some random Israelites accuse him basically of faking the whole thing. all of these stories, even in a building kind of way, they're all about Moses's prophetic authority.